welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to be talking about radio frequencies and how they affect your homestead, what kinds of devices emit radio frequency waves, and just for a note, I'm probably going to refer to radio frequency as RFs moving forward in this video. I have a meter here and I'm actually going to take you around my homestead and show you which devices are emitting the most radio frequency waves. Now, what we're not going to talk about today is how RFs affect your health. I really do want to encourage you though, even though we're not talking about that here today, I would love for you to go ahead and research that subject. There's lots and lots of information out there about it and lots of opinions. And so we're just not going to cover that today, but this will give you an idea of what devices around your homestead are causing the most radio frequency waves. Once you know which devices are emitting the most RFs around your home, you're going to be able to decide what you want to do about it, if you want to do anything about it at all. I'm hoping that this video is informational for you because these monitors here are super expensive. It is a good tool to have in your home, so I do recommend getting one, or like me, you could borrow one from a friend. I borrowed this from one of my girlfriends. For those of you who don't know too much about RFs, radio frequency is the method in which information is transported over long distances without the use of wires and cables. RFs are also utilized in things like body scanners and radar to identify objects. And it's also used in microwave applications to heat your food. So when you think of RFs in your home, probably the first thing that's going to come to mind is, of course, your microwave, radios, TVs, cell phones, even cordless phones, you guys. So cordless phones do, and their base station also emit radio frequency waves. Other items that are around your home that are going to emit RFs are your security system, if it's a wireless security system. Anything related to your Wi-Fi system, right? So that's your computers, if you've got a wireless printer or scanner, all your Bluetooth equipment, your remote control type things like your garage door opener. And there are some sneaky things that you might not think of off the top of your head, like your baby monitors or your CPAP machine or your smart appliances, whether that be your dishwasher or your washer and dryer could be a smart appliance and you don't even realize it. You're about to see the close-up here, and it has 4 different color-coded categories. Green is safe, meaning it's completely safe. There's like hardly any radio frequencies going on in that area, and that's a good place for you to spend a lot of time or to sleep. And then it goes up from there to slight, to severe, to extreme, right? So green, yellow, orange, red. And that's as technical as we're going to get on this meter. I'm not going to go into the specific details or anything like that. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Let's take a walk around and see what areas of my house are emitting the most radio frequency. All right, let's turn this on. I'm going to move this a little bit away from my cell phone here. So here we have the slight, moderate, high, and extreme. When extreme blinks a few times slowly, it means that you're 10 times over the extreme level, and if it blinks very, very fast, it means you're 100 times over extreme level. According to this pamphlet, if you are in the extreme zone, you should remove yourself from the area. Here on slight, when it's green, is the best environment for sleeping and where you should spend most of your time. So let's go ahead and move this on over close to my cell phone. You can see that it's vacillating quite a bit, and that's showing, when it bumps over here and then goes down, it's just showing you peaks in the radio frequency. Now when I turn my phone on, notice that it stays over in the extreme level. Let's go check out some other areas in the house. So here I am in the kitchen, still kind of close to my phone. And it is picking up some RFs here. I did turn the Wi-Fi off on my GoPro here, so hopefully it's not causing any interference. It definitely was earlier. Here we are in my living room, and you can see that the level is moderate. Kind of goes between slight and moderate depending on where we're standing. And here's the library. This is the part of my house that has the least amount of RFs. And when the light is blinking, it is considered to be the most ideal place to sleep or to spend most of your time. I will have to keep that in consideration, I suppose. All right, we're gonna move here and we're gonna head down to where my wireless router is. And as you can see, once we hit this hallway, I know it's dark in here, guys, but hang on, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Once we go into this room here, which is where my wireless router is, you can see that it automatically just goes and stays at extreme. And I will show you, this is my router here, and I'm just gonna put this right up next to the router, and you can see it is flashing at me, and there is some serious activity going on. Lots and lots of RFs coming out of that router, which is to be expected. I also do have a smart TV. So this room, which of course I love to spend a lot of time in, is really giving me quite a bit of RF. So here is my office, and I'll take you over to my laptop. And it's not as bad, but it's still in the extreme. I will show you my wireless printer here. Lot of activity going on with that guy. Now I'm going to take you into my bedroom because this really surprised me. This is my CPAP machine, and check that out. That can't possibly be good for my sleep. And I move a little bit away from it and it is still in the high level, but of course my head is there right next to my CPAP machine. I do believe there is a way to turn off the wireless connection to a CPAP, but obviously I haven't done that yet. And here we are in the kitchen. I do not have any smart appliances, and my kitchen is a pretty happy spot. When I'm not sleeping or reading in the library, I am usually in the kitchen, which is a pretty safe place to be until you turn on your microwave. Check this out, you guys. It's gonna blow your mind. Okay, the microwave is on. Now watch this. Okay, as soon as you turn it off, it goes all the way back to a very healthy spot. So if you're gonna use your microwave, you might want to step away from it. Now, why don't we head outside and see what outside gives us. Okay, here we are in the front and we are at moderate. Let's go on over to the meters and see what that looks like. Okay, here we are next to all of my panels, and it is high for sure. Now, I have opted out of the smart meter for this guy. I just have an analog one, and it's moderate instead of high. It would be high or extreme if I had the smart meter still installed here. Say hi to the puppies. Hi, puppies. The meter we were using today is from Safe Living, and let me know in the comments if you want a link to that. Again, like I told you earlier, I borrowed it and I'm glad that I did, because it taught me a few things. Like, I'm really surprised that my bedroom is not the safe haven that I once thought it was. There's lots of things you can do to reduce your exposure to RFs if that's what you want to do. Obviously for me, it is not using the microwave, or when I feel like I have to use the microwave, to step out of the room while it's on. I have a toaster oven there, which works just as good as the microwave, and it doesn't emit any RFs at all. I am going to explore how to turn off the Wi-Fi signal in my CPAP machine because it's not something that I utilize. And so for me, if it can be disabled, that would perhaps help me with some of my insomnia issues. There are lots of other things you can do. You can turn off your Wi-Fi router when you're not using it. You can go so far as to turn your breakers off to your bedroom where you're sleeping. I know a lot of people who do that and swear by it. I haven't tried it myself because I like to watch television before I go to bed, and that may be a nasty habit that is keeping me awake at night. Obviously, the other big thing you can do to reduce your exposure to RFs is to spend the most of your time in a room that has low radio frequency. And for me, that's my library or my living room, but mostly my library and also my loft upstairs, which I didn't show you. I checked it out earlier because that's where my dogs sleep. And that one it's beautiful. It's a perfect level for sleeping and resting. And so I guess the dogs are getting a lot better sleep than me, and that's a good start. My other favorite room in the house is my movie room, where my router is, and my smart TV, of course. And so some options there is to move the router to another room, because I also like to do my knitting and crocheting in there. And so sometimes I might spend a couple of hours at a time in there, and not necessarily every day, but often enough that if I was concerned about, the effects of RFs in my body, I may want to choose to either move my router, turn my router off, or not spend time in that room. There are other, I don't want to say controversial ideas, but there are lots and lots of different methods that people use for protecting themselves from things like RF and EMF. And I'm going to let you guys do the research on that. There's just so many to choose from and to try out. Copper is a good one that you should look into. But there's some scams out there too. So just be aware that in this changing world where we are becoming or have become a digital society, and we're constantly being bombarded by radio frequency waves, these things are not going to change. And if you are finding yourself affected by those things, please do some research and try to get yourself into a place where you're not exposed to as much, and see if that changes how your body responds to your environment. Well, you guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. This year, since I'm not planting my garden, we're gonna have lots of different interesting things, but they will all be homestead related, okay? I will see you next time. Bye!